Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 2, where I've just taken a look through our buildings here, and I've turned off, for the time being, all of our automatic expansion for everything. Literally everything is no longer automatically expanding. So that is being done because we have a shortage of workers right now. We need to get workers into our railways. That's the primary issue here. Not that we need to construct things, although I will finish construction on what we've already started. Let's go ahead and head on forward here, and we'll finish up that construction. We've got 4 weeks here. That looks good. But we definitely need to cease expansion for the moment. We can't really keep up with it, primarily because of the workers. And one tool that I'm wishing that we had, that I actually remember existing in Victoria 2, maybe I remember incorrectly, but I remember being able in Victoria 2 to turn off the workers in certain industries, in certain buildings. Like if we were to go into here and go into here, I remember being able to turn off the workforce here and reallocate them elsewhere. That does not seem to be the case in Victoria 3. And not that we'd necessarily want to for steel mills, but that does not appear to be the case. So that's a little bit concerning to me because we can't reallocate our workers over to our railways, which is necessary, to be clear. That is something that we need. We need to get our workers employed here. So I want to stop expanding elsewhere and just work on railroads. We need to get our market access back up. That is the top priority for right now. There's secession movements possible, yes. There's a rubber input goods shortage, yes. There's a lot of turmoil, yes. But for the time being, the market access, I believe, is the core problem. So we're going to finish the constructions that we have here and start working on paying down our debt. In the meantime, we're going to try to address this market access issue. And let's take a look here. So in Pomerania, we have 10% of our workers in our railway. We're trying to hire here. We're trying to hire basically everywhere. Apparently we are unable to fully hire in our fishing wharves. Yeah, we just have an employee shortage. That is what is happening here. So the question is, what can we do about that? Our average annual projected pop growth is negative. So does that mean we have to start downsizing? Potentially. I do see that we have about 500,000 unemployed people. Can we see where this is? Apparently not. We'll likely emigrate if nothing comes along. Okay, sure. But we're going to finish up these existing constructions. Oil has been discovered in Friesland. Sure. Lithuanian migration. So how do we attract people in? Well, we need to bring up our standard of living. That's pretty clear. Our standard of living has started to turn around here. So that's good. We're hoping to see this market access really start to come up as we finish up our constructions and hopefully get some additional employees into these railways. So this is now 68% employed. That's noted. What about over, say, here? 7%. So that's pretty grim. That said, we have 341k peasants here and 303k unemployed. So wait a sec. Why are they not getting hired? We're hiring for our power plants. Maybe they are. It's just taking a while because we need a lot for our power plants. So maybe there's a limit on the throughput there. We'll keep an eye on that. The number of unemployed and peasants does appear to be dropping. Okay. Noted. So we're going to finish up our constructions here soon, and we're working on paying down our credit a little bit. We're financing this nearly entirely out of our investment pool, which is fine. No problem there, but we're going to finish up these constructions very soon. 4 weeks on, like, all of them. And then we're going to think, I think, about downsizing some of our construction sectors. So we have 2 in Baden, 2 in Hanover. I would not be opposed necessarily to downsizing these. Now, that will create radicals. We get rid of those, and then our 5 in Prussian Saxony as well. Like that. Okay, so we just keep this at 20 and 20. That shouldn't slow down our construction at all at this time. That should free up some population and should get our money situation better. Now, I'm seeing that our radicals are... Actually, that's our population. I'm seeing that our radicals are slightly dropping off. Very slightly. Noted. So we finish up our tooling workshops. That looks good. Now, what's going on over here? Input goods shortages of explosives. Now, we just finished up some tools. So if we've got a fertilizer input goods shortage, does this tooltip actually say how much? 18 buildings affected. Okay. We could definitely use some chemical plants. I'm not going to go super ham on this, though. Let's see. This is actually really solid. Here, here, and here. Prussian Saxony, Anhalt, and East Prussia. I'm just going to build 3. Now, I'm looking at our credit here and noticing it's not fully being covered. Okay, that's fine. If we have to pause our construction here, I'm okay with that. I'm looking at our market access here. So, like, for example, Posen. We have 11 railway here. So, in theory, that'll give us 275 infrastructure. We're actually getting 69 infrastructure. Okay. So some of that is going to be turmoil. Some of that. Actually, no. Turmoil is just causing migration attraction reduction and tax waste. Fascinating. So that's not the case. Now, we do want to reduce our turmoil. There's no doubt about that. Our number of radicals is decreasing a little bit, which is exactly what we want. We're currently in default, and we're still negative with our construction queue paused, which isn't great. That's for sure. Apparently, we're no longer in deficit. Okay. There's not really a point in pausing our construction queue, to be honest. Okay, British war reps, sure. Okay, we're in default again. That's not shocking. So what we really do need is to bring up our market access across the board. So, in East Prussia, our problem here is that we have too few employment for our railway. We can't prioritize this going to any particular location. We could downsize our port, in theory. In theory. But that's our primary issue right now. Is that we just can't get people to work in our railways. They are currently hiring. But last employee changes, they fired 7 machinists and 6 clerks. And they lost a bunch of laborers. Became laborers in the urban center. In the urban center, huh? That is by far a huge number of employees. So maybe if we were to back off on our urban center, I believe we have street lighting on. Let's see. In our urban center, we are currently on market stalls. And we're also on electric streetlights. So that does increase our employment of laborers and engineers by a huge amount. That will reduce our services. But let's do it. In theory, that will open up a lot more to work in our railways. In theory. Which is exactly what we need right now. So we see a few people unemployed right now. But if we go to our urban center here, I mean, even that though, Our main problem is we just don't have enough people. I was hoping that our very high standard of living and having lots of jobs open and our extremely high GDP per capita would bring people to immigrate. But that appears to not be the case. They appear to not have immigrated at all. So that's definitely intriguing. So the question is, how do we stop this situation? The interpretation of dreams, huh? Building throughput would not necessarily be a bad thing. But it's all down to this market access. This is 100% the problem. We need to get our market access up. And the way to do that is getting our railways up. So I think that what we have to do here is maybe downsize barracks. Like, if we go into our buildings and we go into our development, we may have to downsize barracks and, as well, potentially, conscription centers and naval bases. How many people are employed by conscription centers? $1,000 per level. I don't love this. Oh, we can't downsize conscription centers. That cannot be done. Okay, noted. We can downsize our barracks. I don't love that either. Okay, so what other options? I mean, naval bases. That's not a bad thing to downsize, actually. I'm going to downsize that all the way down. Okay, that will give us some amount of workers. But if we look up over here, there's a decent amount unemployed. This railway is only at 16% employment. Okay. Now it's at 21. Now it's at 18. Because these guys are becoming clerks and laborers primarily in the urban centers. So we can't downsize our urban centers. That just is what it is. But this is eating up basically all of our population. And has tons of additional vacancies. We're not subsidizing it. This would free up clerks to do state-run churches. That said, it would be the same number of clergymen, I think. Maybe not. Okay, so we'll drop that down. Interesting. But this population issue is definitely our primary problem right now. So how can we get more population? Our population is declining right now. So is there anything that we can do in our laws or in our potentially decrees or state actions or something like that? We can work on incorporating some states, which I guess we may as well. But that doesn't really do anything. Promoting social mobility. Plus 25% infrastructure from issuing road maintenance. But that... does that help us right now? Potentially. We're going to have to evaluate each of these on a case-by-case basis. So this is at 96.6% turmoil. If we were to do road maintenance here, if we were to drop off the violent suppression, then our turmoil is going to be a problem. Yes. But we could try to road maintenance it instead. Like this. And swap that over. That brings the infrastructure from 296, or actually, cancel that, 237 to 296. It's not huge. I think it's the power plants. Oh, These are swapping. Okay, this is sorted by number. I didn't realize that. I downsized the textile mills there. Did not intend to. I'm trying to bring the power plants down to 20. Okay. So, that's not actually going to help our problem, though, now that I think about it, because these are already not employed. So it's not going to reduce their employment currently. It's going to reduce their employment cap. The major problem is that there's so many people working in the urban center. Now, that's not necessarily bad. It just means that we need more people. So how can we get more people? Well, we could think about trying to annex some locations. Diplomatically, of course. These guys would not currently accept a trade agreement or a customs union. Okay, we can look at, like, Hamburg. Not currently. These guys are cautious towards us. I don't expect much here. So, it's a population issue, and we knew that this issue was going to come in. We do have about 1 million peasants right now. And another 500,000 unemployed. The question is, can we get those employed? 988K. The schooling workshop is apparently fully employed. Are they not hiring because their cash reserves are too low? Potentially. Yeah, their weekly balance is negative. I think that's the case. So hypothetically, what happens if we subsidize them? So we go into here. This is going to put us deeply negative in our budget, to be clear. But if we subsidize our railways again, that was auto-expand. If we subsidize our railways again, that's actually not that bad. 29. Okay, it's going up. But the market access should go up too. In theory. Is it? I think it is. But man, those subsidies are so expensive. Yeah, our market access is down to 14 now. So that is improving. Okay. Hypothetically, we go down to half taxation. And we do that. Well, actually, no, never mind. That does... I keep thinking that. I keep thinking that this also changes loyalists from standard of living increases. It does not. I need to remember that. I need to remember that. Okay. So these subsidies are very expensive, right? What we're gambling on right now is that fixing our market access will fix that problem. And actually, we are seeing our credit cap just skyrocket. So yeah, it comes down to that then. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So we're down to 5 locations with low market access now. And we need to look to see, do we need to expand in LB? Actually, we have no railways here. So yes, yes we do. So each level of railway is going to get us 25 infrastructure, and we need 2 levels. Okay, so we'll get that queued up. Mecklenburg. How are things looking here? So the railway's level 6. It's at 99% employment. So that's going to go up to, I think, 200-ish? Something like that. So this is going to need to be expanded. We have an input goods shortage of engines right now. Okay. There are apparently no railways here. We need 79? Okay, so we're going to build 3 levels of railway. In Baden, how are things looking here? This is 90%, and we might get there. We might get there. I do think I'm going to build one level of railway there. And then finally in Hanover, how are things looking? So we have no railways here at all, and we need at least 2. I'm going to build 3. Okay. So there we go. We're going to resume our construction queue here. We've built up quite a lot of investment pool. So that should be fine. We're bringing our market access back up. We have battalions in reserve. That's fine. I'm not concerned about that right now. So our standard of living is increasing. Our number of radicals is dropping markedly. Our number of loyalists is increasing somewhat. But most importantly, our credit cap is massively increasing. Noted. I don't think we care about this. Saxon proletarian revolt against Austria. I would care about this, but we've got bigger problems. We need to declare neutrality. Cool. So that'll be fine. Now our debt is still increasing. Don't get me wrong. And we have huge subsidies going on. We have an input goods shortage of engines and oil. Both of which I was hoping would have been fixed. Let's check in on our oil rigs here. Is it possible for us to make more oil rigs? No. No, we cannot. Okay, so that's the best we can do there. We can try to import more oil. And we're going to have to. There we go. That will help somewhat. But what we need more than anything right now is more engines. So here's a question. Do we need to have our motor industries on automobiles? So this is making us... how many engines? 60 per level. If we were to switch back to prioritizing engine production, we suddenly don't have automobiles anymore. But now we're making 80 per level. Man, I don't feel like that's worth it. Maybe it is, actually. Looking at that productivity, that might be worth it, at least for the time being. What is this? Proposal for defensive pact? We accept. Fantastic. Okay, so how is our market access looking now? It's improving. We're going to be finishing up a number of these railways soon. There's a revolution brewing. It is the industrialists, and they want to preserve no migration controls. Okay, so this is a little tough, for sure. How are things looking in our radicals here? They are declining. But we need them to decline more. Can this actually break out? Actually, almost. It can go up to 95. But it can't quite get there. This has extremely high support. Okay. Noted. $254 out of 5. Oh, okay. I was like, hang on a moment. 254 out of 254. No, apparently I've got a bit of dyslexia going on there. Out of 524. That makes more sense. So let's go ahead and think about auto-expanding again at this point. Now that we've gotten that turned around somewhat, I do want to start auto-expanding once again. As long as... No, I don't want to subsidize the urban center. As long as we are good to go, I'm completely okay with auto-expansion. So we're going to get all of these expanding once more. Oh, we can't auto-expand oil rigs because we are at full oil rig capacity. Of course. That's fine. Okay, so we'll do that, and we will also auto-expand our railways. Cool. Okay, so let's get that underway. And we're going to start a bunch of constructions. That's to be expected. We're going to run out of investment pool eventually, but for now, this seems okay. We'll deal with this situation. Actually, this has dropped to 93. So that seems good. Our standard of living is coming back up. Our GDP is skyrocketing at this point. As I said, the problem was the market access. And that is now getting back under control. So I think the population was a bit of a red herring. I'm still very concerned about the population, though. For the time being, though, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to try to turn this around and get ourselves back out of debt. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including, this is the wrong notepad, fantastic, there we go, including Catherall, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James Shadowwolf, Malohan80, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisil, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. Do you want that to be M. Lohan or Malohan? I don't know. We'll find out, hopefully. And a very special thank you, of course, to you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.